I'm loving the look of these new off-road lights, so let's check out the install and how they look, and at the end I'm going to show you how they compare to just the headlights I've got installed. So I'm going to be adding some lights to the front of my truck. I just got finished installing these headlights, and because I decided I didn't have enough to do today, we're going to add a light bar down here. So it's going to be a mount bar with several round LED lights on it. So let's go ahead and get that started. So this light bar that I got is going to mount to the bumper brackets, which are located right behind these bumper pads here, which supposedly are held on with 16 different clips. So we're going to take a flathead screwdriver and just pry these off. That wasn't so bad. Some of them stayed on, some of them came off. It doesn't really matter. So it looks like, based on these pretty awful instructions, that we're going to put this bracket in here, use this factory mounting point, and then we're going to drill a second one right below that. And that's where it's going to mount. Now, if you haven't figured it out already, that means we are going to have to cut out a small piece of this bumper pad for this to protrude through. So we're going to get these brackets mounted, and then we will get that cut to size. On this way. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to put this back on. Just leave it kind of loose. I don't want to tighten it yet. Okay, just leave that like that, and then we'll do the other side. We'll kind of fitment place the bar on there to make sure it looks good, and then we're going to drill a new hole right there for an extra bolt. The measurements are 7.5 inches in. Looks like from here. And then 3/8 inches wide. Okay. And then that should leave this as 1 5/8 from the edge. Yep. And then I need 1 1/4 from the bottom. It doesn't give me a top measurement. Well, let's also do it 1 1/4, and then we can always come back and make it bigger if we need to. So I'm mounting these to this infab light bar mount, and they call this the multi-mount bar. And the way it works is actually pretty cool. It's got these slots and just these holes, and that allows you to either put a light in and move it anywhere along the bar, or you've got these evenly spaced points if you use those holes. Now, if you haven't gotten tired of hearing me talk about this company yet, these lights came from oEdRo, which is the same company that I have for my floor mats and my side steps. I actually reached out to them and I asked them if they would send me these because I was planning on doing this project. And I was looking at Baja Designs and Rigid and all the normal brands. And honestly, I ran across them and I was like, you know what? I've been happy with the products that they've given me so far. I'll give these a shot. I do not expect these to perform as well as like a Baja Designs or a Rigid light bar. These are $50 a pair versus, you know, the prices for Rigid and Baja lights. So they were kind enough to send these over to me. So we're going to check them out. Like I said, I don't expect them to be quite as good as, you know, the big name brands, but I expect them to be plenty good enough, especially when you consider that these two cost $50-something. That's pretty good. So if you're interested, I will throw a link to these down in the description below. Those are affiliate links which help support this channel. So if you want an easy way to support me and you like these, that's a good way to do it. So we'll get these finished installing these and check them out. I thought this was a nice touch. They've got little tabs in here to hold the head of the bolt while you're screwing the nut on, so you don't need a wrench in there. I thought that was a nice little touch. So obviously I got these in red. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the red or not to do that, or if I don't want to do that, I can change it to these black ones. I got these black ones as well. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm going to have 4 on here. I've got 2 sets of black and 1 set of red, so I can do 1 red, 1 black, or 2 black. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you think I should do in the comments. If you like the red as like an accent, you know, aggressive off-road light look, or does it clash too much and it should just go with the black? I don't know, let me know. I got this pre-made wiring harness on Amazon. It comes with a switch, 2 leads, so I can power 2 separate groups of lights all off 1 switch, and a relay and battery terminal. So it's all pre-wired and everything. I'll put a link to this in the description if you want to get one. This kit even came with extra blade connectors so that I can properly wire these lights into the wiring harness. Neat. There's no actual difference between the red and the black lights, so I've just wired them together. They're both spot beam patterns, so I'm not going to have them powered separately. This is all going to be on 1 switch, so I'm wiring them together, the 2 left lights and the 2 right lights together. and then using the wiring harness, which has 2 leads on it, I will be able to just plug these in, nice and simple. So I just finished wiring up the new lights, and it's not pretty, but that's okay. I don't intend to keep this forever. Eventually I'm going to add in a secondary, like auxiliary distribution box with like fuses and stuff. So this is all just temporary. The wiring harness that I bought on Amazon worked just fine. All the connections were, you know, pre-made other than those blade connectors I added to the lights. It's got a fused link. It's got a relay. They include some extra fuses, so like I blew the first fuse. It was a 5 amp fuse, and I blew that immediately. So I threw a 7.5 amp fuse in there that they included, and no problems. They include a wiring harness to a switch, cheap little switch, but it's on a connector, so if you want you can extend this and lengthen it depending on where you want the switch in the cab. I'm probably just going to temporarily mount this somewhere in the cab, probably not even like really mount it, just have it hanging somewhere, because like I said, I do intend to do that auxiliary distribution box, and that's going to have some OEM style switches in the cab. So I'm eventually going to get that all wired up. This will not be permanent, but this will do for now. I'm going to take some electrical tape and tape up those blade connectors just to kind of weatherproof them a little bit, and I think we're done. All right, let's see if they work. They do. Alright, so small update. As you can see, I have swapped out those 2 red ones that were in the center for black ones. I just decided that I thought the 4 black would look better. The red was an interesting idea, a nice accent maybe if you have a white truck or a red truck, but with my blue, it didn't quite fit. So I just went to all black, and I have wired them up a little bit more permanently and zip tied all the wiring up so it's a little bit cleaner, and I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, so let's I'm going to take this truck out, and I'm going to take it somewhere where I can see what kind of light output these put out and kind of aim them a little bit better. So let's go check it out. So let me shut the truck off. So these headlights are the Alpha Rex Nova series headlights. They're super bright, so keep that in mind. If you want to check out these lights in more detail, I do have a video about that on my channel. I'll put a link to that in the upper right corner here for you to check out if you want. But let's take a look at these off-road lights that I've got installed. So I've got these lights set up on the bar here, and these outer ones I've got pointed kind of at an angle towards where the edge of the road would be, and then the 2 middle ones are straight, and then that one is pointed towards the other shoulder, so that it kind of gives a wider pattern. These lights are said to be a spotlight pattern, but what I'm noticing is they're more of a flood, which doesn't surprise me. They're pretty cheap lights, so the optics aren't going to be super great, but they're more of like a flood, in my opinion, but I'll let you kind of decide that for yourself when I show you what they look like. Alright, so obviously all my lights are off, and this will be just the off-road lights. So it's not bad. Let me give you some headlights to compare that to. Alright, so this is the Alpha Rex headlights turned on. This is just the low beams, not the high beams, and then with the off-road lights. So as you can see, it's a pretty big difference. I'd say for what these lights cost, I'm pretty happy with them. Let's try it with high beams. Alright, so Alpha Rex low and high beams, and the off-road lights. So still obviously a pretty significant difference. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this light output. You know, they're not super expensive, several $100 lights, so they don't throw light as far, which is what I was expecting. I did not expect them to throw super far like a hyper spot or something. So this is exactly what I was hoping for, and I'm happy with these results, especially for how much these lights cost. So. As a note, that we did have a lot of fog and rain over the last several days. These lenses fogged up and had moisture all over them, but nothing inside the lenses themselves. So these are sealed, at least to some degree. We'll see how long that lasts, but they were saturated in dew and fog and rain the other day, and nothing inside the lights themselves. So that was reassuring to know that they do have some kind of weatherproofing underneath all of that. So that's good to know.